Hello, everybody. My name is Sayda Elbereir, and I'll be talking about belonging. What does it mean to belong? It's more than having documentation, passports, or a place on a map. It's about being seen, heard, and acknowledged, knowing your life simply matters because you exist. But for millions of Sudanese people, that sense of belonging has been stripped away and stolen by war, by silence, and the systems that see them as less. But I'm not here to remind you of that today. Instead, I'm choosing to remind you that we do in fact belong too. And while crimes against humanity are taking place, something deeper is rising too, a soul-driven purpose, a call to resist and to rebuild. Belonging means much more than being accepted. It's about survival. When people are seen, valued, and heard, they have the foundation to grow, to heal, to dream. What happens when that belonging is taken away? People are left to feel isolated, invisible, and fighting just to exist. This is what's currently happening to so many Sudanese people, once living with identity, purpose, and life, now left fighting to survive and being reduced to numbers and silence. And what's worse than the harm being caused coming from the very systems meant to protect us, the system that was built on greed and unchecked power. Imagine a father who walks miles in search of medicine for his sick daughter. He returns home, medicine in hand, only to find silence. His child is gone. And there he stands, holding hope in one hand and loss in the other. This is the reality for too many Sudanese families living through displacement and war. And here is where dignity is denied. All around the world, Sudanese people have taken to streets. In London, Nairobi, Washington, and far beyond. We're a community that shuts the door on silence and refuses to be passive. Sudanese youth, women, and communities are raising their voices and holding our symbol. And in doing so, we remind the world of the truth. We belong too. We are the voices of the unheard. We are where resistance lives on, and ours is a fight for dignity that never stops. Over 12.9 million people who have been displaced in Sudan. These are not just numbers, they're lives. People who have been torn from their families, stripped from their communities, and left to raise children with lessons in survival. Many have been forced to seek shelter in schools, public buildings, or live completely exposed to environments where protection from harsh water and weather and from violence. Imagine walking to the nearest river just to drink from contaminated water, knowing it will make you sick, but having no other choice. These families don't get to choose what they eat or drink. Their environment doesn't offer the luxury of clean water, only survival with risk. But even in these conditions, dignity shows up. Displaced families come together, support one another, and build community from hardship. In Al-Fao, in the state of Gadarif, one man said something that stayed with me. When we see displaced people, we don't say they are displaced. We say they are coming home to their families, and we are their families. Sudan is a home to the many, and we can never forget the sacrifices made to protect that truth. It is because of those sacrifices that the Sudanese people continue to grow into a nation that stands for justice. Mujtaba Salah Ahmed Al-Hadi, Ali Muhammad Al-Noor, Sayyid Muhammad Sayyid, Muhammad Hashim Salah Matar, and so many more innocent lives. People who stood up to injustice and dared to challenge the wrongs of corruption. But do not be mistaken, their souls live on in their loved ones, in their communities, and the nation we are still fighting to build. Their purpose lives on too. They rose not for what Sudan had become, but for what it could be. A home. That purpose is one they carried in their hearts. It is the same one that will shape the change we still hope to see. Along with honoring them by their names and pictures, let's also honor them by building the very nation they dreamed of, and ask yourself the very question Matar asked. We all agreed we're going to build it. How are you planning on building it? So what now? What does it look like to carry this forward? We can empower Sudanese youth by helping them channel their passion and dedication, because that passion is the very fuel for rebuilding. When young people from different fields, whether it's politics, medicine, or engineering, or beyond, come together, they don't just share knowledge, they build something bigger. a collective vision, a vision where they are not just part of the future, they are the future of their nation. By promoting systems and policies that are rooted in ethical and dignified standards, we create an environment where fair access to education, safety, and opportunity, regardless of where we are or what document we hold, are not only discussed but implemented. Why is it that a country filled with rich history, from ancient pyramids to Nubian kingdoms, from natural beauty to untapped resources, is at risk of being completely forgotten? Our story did begin with conflict, and it should never end with it. Teach Sudan's story, share it, pass it forward, because the future we see of this nation and for this nation is not one defined by just pain and suffering, but by strength, by resilience, and by everything we've carried through generations. This is more than a reminder of the world's silent yet loud cries. It's about slowly reminding the world that we are here, that we exist. The Sudanese people are still standing, still belonging, and no amount of silence can hush the sound of our resilience. We do belong, and we will keep belonging. Thank you very much.